send this to 80 plus people? Yes. All right.
Send it to
I love a Discord when you do like at here at everyone, and it's like, oh, are you sure you want to send this to 200 plus people? Heck
Yes.
yeah, I do.
Yes, spam them all.
Every time.
Give me my little emote that has the angry face with the +1 like, why did you ping me?
Why are you pinging? Yeah.
Why was I summoned?
Oh man. So I was up too late last night.
Oh, I know the feeling. I didn't go to bed till like 4 in the morning, and then it's like,
Yikes.
oh, that's right. I got to be somewhere by like 2. We drive back home.
Yeah. I was playing Overwatch for many hours yesterday. I'm finally back to gold. I had to do a little bit of climbing. So, yay, gold.
I did that Thursday, and then I was late to it because I've been working out of town. So I came home Thursday, and I decided, I'm going to play on my other account. Now, I haven't really ranked it this season yet. I've only played on like just my regular account. So let me rank on this one. Got into Masters, and then I realized, oh shit, it's 5 in the morning.
Yikes.
I have a meeting at 11 and a company luncheon at 1. Let's hit pause, boy.
And pause. Yeah, no, I just spent like the majority of my afternoon. It's like it was like 1 p.m. and then by the time it's done, it was like 6. I'm like, I should probably eat. Should probably have some food or something.
It's the general consensus. Once you start playing competitive, you just like,
yeah, you're in the zone. Yeah, but I was playing with someone that was actually learning Reinhardt, so he's watching the episode because he wants to hear your insight on it. He's really bad, so climbing with him was an experience. He's really bad. He likes to charge in with no one else around him, no healers or support or anything.
I've been guilty of that. Guilty as charged.
I mean, I have as well.
Even in Masters and Grandmasters, boys and girls, guilty as charged for charging in to a 6-stack. I look at my team. Okay, I have attacked Shorebjorn. I'm good. Let's go.
Let's go. I also charge myself off the map. Like if there's like a cliff, I'm definitely gonna go off it.
Oh no, the best part is when you're charging. Their enemy Widowmaker has no idea you're coming. All they hear is a ha! Looking around, what's going on? What's going on? And then 2 seconds later is a Reinhardt right here.
Yeah.
You're about to hit them and take them off the cliff and be like, glorious death. And all of a sudden, Lucio goes, boom!
Bye.
500 feet that way off the cliff, and the Widowmaker's is like, ah!
Oh man, I love Lucio. I love booping people. It's satisfying. So it's like a full team boop.
Lucio.
Oh man,
I hate Lucio.
I love Lucio.
I hate him just for the fact of every single crucial pin I'm going to get. Oh, by the way, I'm rolling around on my roller skates. You have no idea where I'm at. Boop.
Lucio from above. Boop. Yeah. No, he's one of my mains. So I love boop and I love the wall riding.
You talk about Lucio from above. Reinhardt from above with your ultimate, and I'll explain that in a bit.
I'm looking forward to it. Speaking of which, hello, viewers. We're not ignoring you guys. We're just having some pre-show chat. So say hello if you're here. I see Dice Bart crying in chat because he's actually the one that was learning Reinhardt yesterday, and I'm giving him a hard time. He's getting better. He's slowly improving, but hopefully he'll learn a thing or 5 from you. On that note, let's hop into the intro video. I'm trying something new this week, guys. So bear with me. Hopefully it works. Let's see here. Let's see if I can figure it out. So first, make my face get really big. Bye, Logota. All right, and then I click this. All right. You see a big V. Excellent. And then let's see if I can do this.
Pump up the volume. Oh, this'll be good. I'll be watching over you.
All right, so that's the thing. So hopefully that worked better this week on the stream end of things. It's been lagging previous weeks, so I tried that. Let me know, viewers, how it looked on your end, how it sounded. Dashboard says it sounds great. It's backwards. Oh no! So Dice Bard, he was the one helping me set this up. It is flipped on my end, like the way we set it up, but it looks like BeLive played a trick with us and it wasn't actually flipped, so we didn't need to flip it. So sorry for that being backwards, my friends. But now we know for next time. But I'm glad it sounds great. All right. Learning things. So we're here today, episode 4 of On the Point, to talk about Reinhardt with Logota, who will introduce in a second. So you sit there, sit pretty, look pretty. Good job. All right. So for those who have maybe not been to the show before, just give you a little rundown of what we're doing here and what On the Point is. So this is a talk show geared towards the more average, casual type of competitive player. So bronze, silver, gold is actually the majority percentage of Overwatch competitive players are in these ranks. So this show is all about just breaking down each hero. We're going to have some episodes on maps and just team comp specific things from coaches and whatnot. And basically, we just make it an easier to digest topic for you. You can learn the ins and outs of how to play heroes and certain characters and whatnot in order to improve your gameplay. Also, to improve how you play on a team or in the online multiplayer game, how to work better with people in general. Especially in competitive, it's so easy to get tilted and upset and frustrated when your team isn't working well together. So tips on how to work better with people as well, which is just as important as knowing how to play the heroes that you and your team are playing. In my opinion, I think that's really important to be able to work with the people you're with. So we have Logota here with us today, who's a former top 500 Reinhardt player. He still plays Reinhardt. He's just, not 500 anymore, but that's okay. You're still really good. You know what's going on. So Logota, here's your stuff up on the screen there, your Twitter and Twitch info for anyone interested in following you. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Logota?
So Logota is, of course, myself. My name is Zach. I've been playing first-person shooters for as long as I can remember, and I've been competitive since the original StarCraft came out on PC. I love MOBA aspect games, and Overwatch seemed to capture that. It brought MOBA in with first-person shooters. So it gave me a different feel to playing the first-person shooter genre that I love competitively, and it brought that in with the MOBA aspect of more team-orient based, especially with your different ultimates from different heroes and each one bringing their own unique toolkit to the game. So
excellent. Yeah, Overwatch is great. And actually StarCraft is one of my first games I really got into as well. So we're aging ourselves here, Logota. Back in the day.
Back in my day, we had SCVs do the work for us.
Yeah, we just sat back and just made all the SCVs, the probes, the drones, I think they're called on the Zerg side of things. But this is not a StarCraft show though. That's the next show. Just kidding. There is no next show. We should totally do a StarCraft show though. I can talk about StarCraft for days. All right. So let's see here. So wow. I'm clicking things I shouldn't be clicking. Oh no, where did it go? Aha, I figured it out. All right. So Reinhardt is a tank.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't plan this, but my first few episodes of On the Point have all been tanks. So we did Winston, we did Orisa, now we're doing Reinhardt. And I believe Reinhardt's one of the more popular tanks. He's one of the original heroes. He's been here since day one, and he's definitely a badass.
Yeah, I mean, Reinhardt was one of the very first few characters ever really introduced into Overwatch, besides the main one, which is Tracer, that everybody knows just by seeing an image. You know who she is. But Reinhardt is by far one of the easiest tanks to come in and grasp. You come right in, you get a 2,000-point shield. You put it in front of everybody. You can literally just walk towards the payload. You can guard the capture, king of the hill point. Whereas some of your other tanks have more niche positions. He is the OG shield tank. He is an entire team knockdown. He has a pin. He has a long-range attack he can use to build up his ultimate a lot quicker, like 8% per hit. So he is just an all-well-round intro beginner tank in Overwatch that is easy to pick up, easy to learn, but he has so much more in his vast toolkit that he can be than just, oh, this is the original tank that's easy for anybody to play, but I can't play him past this skill level. Wrong. You can play Reinhardt all the way through Grandmasters, and you can see most Overwatch League players actually favoring Reinhardt 9 times out of 10 just because of what he can do.
He's pretty powerful. I just want to throw some shade out there for Dice Bard. See, Dice Bard, he is easy to learn. You're just really bad. Just kidding. So hopefully after today's show, you'll have a little bit more info. And before you dive too much more into Reinhardt, I just want to remind people that we do loot box giveaways every stream. So just be active in chat, hang out, ask questions, say things, just be friendly in chat in general. And by the end of the stream, I'll be paying attention throughout the stream. But at the end of the stream, I will handpick someone that wins loot boxes. So just be around, be present. The show's going to be about half an hour long. It's not that long. Just be around, say hi, chat with people, chat with us. This isn't a talk show where we talk at you. We talk with you. So if you have a question or something, just ask it in chat, and we might put it up on screen and answer it right here for you. So just be around, be present, and you can win things. All right, so Logota, going back to Reinhardt, let's talk about his toolkit, his abilities. Those are kind of important. The first one being the hammer. He's a huge hammer for his weapon. So he's a melee. So he's very like typical tank. Well, actually, not typical tank because Orisa's not melee. I should correct myself there. But he's very, very smashy, right? So let's talk about his hammer.
All right. So your hammer actually in game, I kind of figured it out in a way, has about a 40-meter reach. And most of you are like, well, how do you measure that in game? Imagine two persons in front of you. That's about the extent of your hammer. Full swing. It's a 180-degree swing in front of you. So just because they're not directly in front of you doesn't mean they actually won't be hit and cleaved. Now, the most damage, of course, is going to be right in front of you at 80. And if it hits on one of the two sides at the 180-degree view, you'll still hit them for about 60 damage. So you are still hitting them hard. And when you hit them with your hammer, you're automatically going to knock them back in a direction that the hammer hits them. So if they're over here, and it gets hit this way, you're going to automatically push them further that way. That's one of the main things you got to look around as far as if you're just swinging your hammer into a giant team fight and you get to knocking people. It can become easy to lose somebody in the team fight, like a Lucio, a Genji, somebody that's just really annoying to keep up with in general. Once you hit them once, it's like, how do I keep up with them?
Yeah. So, where'd they go? When I play Reinhardt, I just spam that button and hope for the best. It never works out though. That's why.
Yeah, like once you coordinate into a team fight, you're on the point, you're actually fighting, and it's at least a 4v5 or somewhere in that area. There's at least 4 of your teammates fighting their team. Using your shield at that point before there's actually an ultimate that goes off or they boost or something like that is a wasted point. It's just waste. You're better off actually swinging your hammer to the fences and trying to hit as many people as you can, because the more people you hit, the faster you're going to build up that Earth-Shatter, and the actually more damage you're going to pop out, because believe it or not, Reinhardt actually has one of the highest DPSs of all tanks.
Yeah. And a common mistake I see with Reinhardt is just they love how much damage they do, so they forget they have a shield altogether, and they're just smashing people, and the rest of the team's getting frustrated because they have no shield because their Reinhardt is just attacking people. Right, Dice Bard? But so much shade today. But yeah, he's such a powerful tank, does so much damage, but don't forget about your shield, folks. We'll go more into the specifics and whatnot like that. But we're going to jump over to, speaking of the shield, it's a huge shield. I think it's 2,000 HP this shield has. It's pretty big. So it's like that huge rectangle in front of you. And in a typical shield, you can let it recharge by putting it away. Tuck it into your back pocket, so to speak. And it'll recharge while it's away. But you're not invincible with that shield. That's another common mistake people with like shield tanks make is, oh yeah, I have my shield, I'm invincible. You gotta pay attention to how much HP your shield is left. It shows you on the screen how much is left. And when that shield's getting low, you need to think about an exit strategy or something that you're about to do, or at least warn your team, hey guys, shield's getting low, so they know that they need to duck and cover. But yeah, that shield is pretty powerful though, 2,000 HP. And then his charge, you can talk about his charge Logota. I know we're just testing that pre-show a little bit, but the charge is so fun. It's a very Reinhardt-specific ability.
Yeah, so going along with both of those, Reinhardt does have a charge and pin, which if you charge somebody, if it's not another tank, and if it is another tank, if they're at half health or less, it is a guaranteed one-shot kill on them if you hit them and you hit a wall. However, with that being said, Reinhardt does have one of the loudest sounds of whenever he does a charge. And 9 times out of 10, if a Lucio hears that, or an Ana hears that, or a Roadhog hears that, they can boop you, they can sleep you, or they can pull you away from said charge. And now you're in the middle of the enemy territory by yourself. So one of the biggest things you got to look out for when you're going to charge is, are you coming in from a flank position? Are you coming in from the front, but your whole team is laying down fire into them already, basically covering you? And that's a guaranteed pick that if you hit them from the way the rest of their team is positioned. If it's a guaranteed pick, then right there at that point, you being the tank and you being Reinhardt, who you are, your best bet is to go ahead and charge them, get your guaranteed pick, get one person down, and then you're automatically into a 6v5 with the rest of your team shooting at them. So you can immediately pop up, fire strike, swing your hammer once or twice, and throw your shield up. By that time, if your team is good, they're usually right there with you. You're not dead. You're still alive. You picked a person. Your Earth Shatter is probably at least halfway to full charged. And now you have a 6v5 because of that one charge. And this brings into the shield play at this point. And with your shield, of course, you have 2,000 health, as Malkarii pointed out. Mm-hmm. If you put it away, it takes about 5 to 6 seconds, depending on when was the last time it took damage before you put it away, for it to actually start charging back up. It charges up fairly decent. If it breaks, it will stay down for 10 seconds and it will come back with 800 health. So if it's going to be close to breaking, like she said, you need to find somewhere to put yourself into a safe spot, a little cubby hole somewhere, get away from everything on fire. The other thing to watch out for, as she said, with your shield, you are not unkillable. You got to watch out. If they have a Mei and you've pushed into a choke point, all she has to do is wall you up. You are literally there by yourself. Now, with some of the changes they've made, Mei's actual freeze will not go through your shield. However, if she gets in close enough and her gun goes in through your shield, you are a dead Reinhardt. There is nothing you can do. So, as Morg just pointed out in chat, Zarya is also great. I know I'm kind of maybe skipping ahead just a little, so I'll wait on that. Well, I can wait. That's more of a synergy thing. I'll wait on that till we get to that point.
I see a dice part question here as well. We'll wait as well until we're just going to do a quick ability overview, and then we can dive into the rest.
The last thing for the shield, which our host here just pointed out that she learned the other day, which is kind of neat in a way.
I love it.
If you actually flick your shield up while you're looking up, say you're watching out for a Pharaoh, when you flick it up, it will actually look around behind you, and you can see who's behind you, what's going on. So you can see if there's somebody sneaking behind you, say like a Junkrat. Yeah.
I think it was my friend Agonius was the one that taught me this shield trick. And one of the reasons why I never really liked playing Reinhardt is because, yes, I have the shield up, but I have no idea what's going on behind me, and I would often get snuck up on and killed. So when he told me this trick, I'm like, oh, God, this is amazing, mind blown. Now I need to play Reinhardt more because now I feel more comfortable and confident being able to look around and be aware of my surroundings as a whole. And I passed it on to Dicebard. He was also excited to learn that since he's learning Reinhardt right now. So yeah, for those that aren't aware, if you have your shield up, you press your whatever your keybind is for you to be able to look around, press that while you have your shield up, and you can do like a full 360 and just look around everywhere. So it's a helpful tip. All right, and then moving on to Fire Strike. So it's a flaming projectile you can just throw at people, and if you get hit in the face with that, do you know exactly how much damage it does, Logota? I know it does quite a decent amount.
Yeah, so Fire Strike, if it hits you when you don't have any kind of shield up or anything protective, it'll hit you for 120 damage. That is to non-tanks. If you are a tank and you have armor, it hits you for 100 damage. And if there's a shield up in front of you, say like a Reinhardt shield, Orisa shield, Zarya shield, somebody just gives basic damage mitigation, it'll hit you for 80. So regardless of what you're doing, it's going to hit you for at least 80 damage. And for every single person it hits, it gives roughly anywhere from 8 to 10% Earth-Shatter charge, depending on how much damage it hits.
Yeah, definitely pay attention when a Reinhardt is nearby. Now, his flaming projectile, his Fire Strike, it does move at a decent pace, but if you're far enough away from him, you can see it coming, and you can strafe out of the way. You can dodge it. Don't feel like you're stuck if it's coming at you. You have time to move. Just got to be agile. That's all. And then we mentioned this multiple times. Well, let's talk about Earth-Shatter. What is Earth-Shatter? It's his ultimate ability. What does it do, Logota?
So Earth-Shatter, for those who do not know, when you Earth-Shatter and you hit the ground, every single person in a 90-degree cone in front of you that goes out like this will automatically be put to the ground, be dealt 50 damage, and will be stunned for 3 seconds. So the great thing about Earth-Shatter is there's multiple ways to use it. However, one of the biggest things that new Reinhardt players need to know is that if there is a person in front of you that has a Zarya shield, Orisa shield, or Reinhardt shield all deployed, Specifically, the Zarya shield by itself, that person will not be knocked down because they are shielded from the attack. If the Orisa shield or Reinhardt shield are in front of you, whenever you do Earth Shatter, if the people are behind that said shield, they will again not be knocked down because the shield is protecting them. You can only use Earth Shatter if you come in from the flank or coming from the front and they do not have a shield up. It's a very niche move. It can be used on pushes, defends, flanks. But the big thing is you want to make sure that they're in the middle of the fight. And of course, yes, Shaq pointed out the Brigitte shield too. However, the Brigitte shield, again, is a one-person shield only, so only Brigitte would not be stunned. So it's not as big as like a Reinhardt shield or an Orisa shield. But the main thing you need to know about the Earth Shatter is that when that comes out, that is one of the most pivotal push or defend moves there is in the game. It's just as big as a Zarya Graviton Surge. If you can take out 4 people that are literally knocked on the ground for 3 seconds, especially if that's like if you take out a Zenyatta or Mercy, boom, you instantly kill the healer, they're done. They have no way of really regrouping. I mean, that's it. The biggest things I can teach anybody about an Earth Shatter trick that most people will not know, that if you were on the second floor of any objective point, say you're up upstairs and you're jumping down to the point and you spam Earth Shatter as you're falling, the neat thing is, even if Reinhardt goes through the animation, the hammer comes all the way over and you've already actually seen the fire streak lines come out, animation's done, but you're still falling. If you turn yourself, you will actually turn the Earth Shatter. You can actually still direct it while you're falling. So if they're moving while you're coming down, you can literally move it and still hit everybody.
That's really cool. I didn't know that. Learning something new today.
That is like a big niche move. Say, I'm trying to think of a really good map. Say New Bonnie, if you jumped, from upstairs down and you hit Earth Shatter, you can still swing it and hit multiple people. So it's one of those. It's really good. It's really nice to use. You're not going to get that all the time unless you're flanking because you have another tank that can push. Mm-hmm. But speaking, I think we can probably go ahead and to a little bit of synergy at this point because we have basics. Before
we hop into that, I just want to acknowledge some things being said in chat. Zarya, we should absolutely play Overwatch together. I would love to help you learn all these things we're talking about. And if you have any specific questions about what we're saying, if we need to make it a little bit easier to understand, let us know. We can break it down. As someone who's played Overwatch for a long time, even me, it's easy for me to use phrases in terms of very Overwatch specific that are normal to me, but not normal to someone who doesn't play the game much or isn't familiar with it. So always keep me in check, guys. If I see something that you don't understand, please ask. Don't be shy. Also, I just want to note, Logota, it's Brigitte, and I will fight you on this.
Oh, what did I say? Did I say Brigitte?
Something like that.
I know it's Brigitte. It's Brigitte. Brigitte Lindholm.
Yes. Now, one second. I'm just going back. Actually, I'll put this on the chat right now. So, Desperate asked a question about the shield. So, how do you balance out shields versus attacking? So, when's a good time to put the shield down and start smashing people? That's a good question.
All right. So, one of the biggest things about balancing out shields versus attacking, when to drop your shield before you run out, things like that nature. A lot of that's going to come to how much time you've played with Reinhardt in general. Normally, once you've put in probably 30 to 40 hours of Reinhardt, this is a question that you'll have a lot better answer for yourself. As far as I go with this, 9 times out of 10, I look at my team comp. I'm going to look at who's on my team, who synergizes with me, who can do what. Do we have snipers? Do we have mid-range? Do we have melee? What kind of healers I have? Like if I have a Mercy healer that can literally just has the best healing game, can keep me up bar none, no problem. And if we're in close range, I'm going to drop that shield and go to town and just not really care too much about what else is going on around me. Until I start seeing 1 or 2 people die, then I'll jump back in front, throw the shield up. Now, with attacking versus shield, one of the biggest things is if you're pushing in to capture the first payload to then push the payload, at that point, while you're pushing up to the payload, it's all shield. Even if your shield's going to go down and break, keep the shield. At that point, if you're within maybe 10, 20 meters of the point, your shield's about to break. If there's somebody there, you can go ahead and hit with a charge and pick them, charge in, go to town, don't worry about the shield, start meleeing away. If you're not even close to the point, you've only got like 2 people pushing with you and 3 people trying to flank, and your shield's at like maybe 400, 300 about to break, At that point, I'm going to tell you, back out, hide, let your shield recharge a little bit. Keep watching them in front of you. When they get closer and they're about to jump in, at that point, pull your shield out, start walking forward, and get all the focus fire on you so they can come in. A lot of Reinhardt play is nothing more than being the big attention gatherer and having everybody focus on you. You want everybody looking at you, because when you come around that corner and you can get that pick, they're like, oh crap, he can throw fire strike at me, he can charge me and pick me, and there's a Junkrat behind him constantly shooting rockets, so we got to, his little rocket balls at us, we got to watch out for that. It's all attention is focused at you. They want that shield gone. They want to be able to kill that Junkrat. They want to kill that Mercy that's with you. They want to have you out of the picture. So they're not worried about a Genji, a Roadhog, and like a Zenyatta that's walking around the left side of the objective that they can't see. So there's key points in times you got to look at what's going on with your team. If you know you've got people coming in to flank, you want to keep that shield up. You want to keep attention on you. If everybody's with you and you're all pushing as one, once you get within 10 to 20 meters of that objective, drop that shield, go to Hammer Town, start putting hammers to faces, start winning. And if you look at it and it looks like, okay, they're kind of spread a little bit, but I know I can get a guaranteed pick on one of them if I charge now, charge. Get the guaranteed pick. The thing is, versus what you can do as a Reinhardt versus, let's say, if you can get a Mercy pick or a Zenyatta pick or a Lucio pick, or even if you can pick like a Pharah or Soldier, if you can pick like a Mercy, a Zenyatta, Pharah, Lucio, Soldier, Junkrat, versus to your one Reinhardt, pick them all day. Kill them. Charge them, kill them. Because even if their entire team turns and focuses you, your entire team is now looking at their side or their back and come in and kill them. So the thing is, you may have just taken out one of their best DPS from best healers for just a tank coming in. So if you have another tank, even if you don't, you've literally just taken out probably one of the better things on their team, especially for an objective play point. So a lot of it's going to come down to your personal play style. If you like to play more tanky or if you like to play more offense, there's not so much what I can tell you to do on that matter. But if you're like to play more smash Reinhardt, then it's going to be one of those you're going to kind of have to feel for it just a little. When you're pushing in, you can tell if your team's there or not and what's going on. And after a while, you can kind of get a feel of what you can do and what you can't do on Reinhardt. That's the best thing I can tell you to do right now is keep playing Reinhardt and just Reinhardt. Get a better idea of the melee concept as far as how far you can reach, who you're playing against, what they can do. And once you have a full understanding of every single tank and every single healer, not so much the DPS, but all the tanks and all the healers, and you can look at them and know inside out what they can do, who they can heal, what their escape manners are, what they can do to CC you, then at that point in time, you'll know it 100% without even having to look at the full team comp. Okay, I know I can charge in and hit this person. I know I can go in and hit these people with the hammer without having to worry about them killing me. I know I can go in this way with this people on my team, and we can flank from behind because we have this other tank up front. And I can come in and start hitting people in the back and turn all their attention away from that. So that's the main thing about Reinhardt. You're big, you're loud, you're bolsterous. You're going to take all the attention to you. So that's one of those you got to – about 60% of the time you're going to be on defense, and 40% of the time it's going to be all hammer time.
Excellent. I wanted to – because that was a huge question, because that's basically – playing Reinhardt is deciding when to have the shield up and when to be attacking. That's the essence of Reinhardt and how to play him well. So I wanted to get that question out of the way. It covers like so much of stuff that we're going to be jumping into in more detail. I love how detailed your responses are. You've obviously played Reinhardt for a long time. You know him super well. So I just love how in depth you go. It's next level. It's great. You're so extra.
Well, I mean, I think about season 2 after they got rid of their original rank system. I picked up tanking. And by the end of season 2, beginning of season 3, I've played at least 70% of my ranked matches as Reinhardt. So
yep.
He's by far my favorite.
It's great. So speaking of Reinhardt and playing him, we're just going to quickly cover when should Reinhardt be picked? So if you're hopping into a match, be it quick play or competitive, when is the time you'd be like, you know what, other than, auto-locking Reinhardt because that's all you know how to play. I'm not saying that's all you know how to play. I'm saying in general, or maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I don't think I've ever seen you play another hero now that I think about it. But when's a good time to specifically pick Reinhardt?
Okay.
Is there a map he's best at? Like those type of things.
Well, there's several maps he's best at in terms of just shield tanks and tanks in general, such as King's Row. Reinhardt is by far one of the best offensive tanks and one of the best defensive tanks, just because all the crucial choke points. You have a shield that covers the entire entrance to the choke point. So unless you have someone like a Genji or a Pharah or a Hanzo that can get over those choke points, you're pretty much stuck trying to beat down somebody with a shield that can hit you at range. One of the key things you got to look at for Reinhardt is you got to look at your healing comp and you got to look at your DPS comp. The first two things you want to look at. You want to look at what kind of healers you want, because for Reinhardt, you want more big sustain than anything. So let's say like your two healers are a Lucio and a Moria. That's not necessarily the best time to pick Reinhardt. You can work with those two healers, but your most favorite healers are going to be Ana and Mercy. Brigitte is like a really niche healer. She can be good. She can provide frontline support with you. But the main thing about Brigitte is her healing is very retroactive to being in fights. So let's say you've beaten them back and they're regrouping. Her healing at that point is kind of wasted if you're not doing anything. That's the main thing about her, is she's giving you flat armor. So if nothing's going on, it's that's not what you want for a healer either. For DPS, you don't have to have a sniper. Snipers are always good. With, of course, being one of the best snipers in the game, especially with a Mercy buff, that's pretty much almost an instant one shot to anybody in the head as far as DPS goes. Hanzo is extremely good for covering you. You want somebody that has high burst at a choke point, a soldier, a Junkrat, a Hanzo, a Widowmaker. You want somebody that when you have that shield up can literally just pour right into whoever's trying to come into that shield. And as far as like if you have another tank with you, Orisa works good with her shield. She works good with her, just throwing down a damage buff, because then you can start meleeing everything and not carrying. You have a damage boost. Zarya works great because if you charge in, she can immediately just throw a bubble on you. She gets big because of you charging in, diving, and picking somebody. So now you have a damage boost going along with yours, plus the Graviton Surge coming out. As soon as the Graviton Surge is about to end, you can immediately Earth-Shatter whoever's left. You've just got a team kill because you just wiped everyone.
Yeah, so powerful. And then we kind of dived into team competitions and whatnot and synergies. So if there's any synergies that you want to mention, you can talk about that as well. Who it really works well with type stuff.
One of the biggest things, if you're playing offense, especially pushing the payload, and if you just want like one of the biggest cheese combos, Bastion Reinhardt. One of the biggest cheese combos you can run. You can literally just put Bastion on the payload, have Reinhardt sit on the front, keep your shield up, and literally just laugh at anybody that comes in line of sight of the Bastion. And if it's a Genji, you just stand in front of him and be like, oh, you want to reflect the shield? Okay, I'll reflect. My shield will catch. He'll just keep shooting. You will die. But as far as opposite synergies, and this is giving out tips to anybody if you're playing against a Reinhardt at this point, when a Reinhardt comes in, the main thing you need to look at is who is his co-tank. You don't need to look at the DPS or the supports. Look at his co-tank. If he doesn't have an Orisa or a Zarya, he is easily killable. If he has a Roadhog or a Winston, Roadhog, and Diva, Winston and Diva specifically want to dive. They want to dive your back line. That's what those two champs are made for. As far as tanks, they're made for diving. Roadhog is like middle ground because he doesn't have to dive because of his hook. But at the same point in time, he does like to get into your back line and try and kill your healers. So if that's the case, if they're running a dive tank who wants to flank, you can literally come in there with like a Junkrat, a soldier, a Pharah, somebody who can get a line of sight on him and do lots of big burst damage that can go around the shield. You can drop him instantly. Because the thing about Reinhardt is he can only look one way with his shield. So if you have like a soldier shooting him in the front, and say if you have Malkari's favorite hero, Junkrat, shooting the wall right beside him with bombs falling down behind him, he can't look both ways. He will die.
Yep. I've killed many a Reinhardt that way.
So that's the main thing to look at. If you're ever playing against a Reinhardt, even if they're good or they're bad, look at who their co-tank is, if they have a co-tank. If they don't have a co-tank, they're probably going to be running 3 DPS, 2 will be flanking, 1 will be behind him with at least 1 healer. So at that point, it's pretty easy to flank him and kill him and keep him controlled. That's one of the biggest things about Reinhardt is keeping him in check and not letting him push into your team. Because when the Reinhardt pushes into your team, there's literally almost nothing you can do at that point because he is going to be in your back line. He is going to kill somebody. If Mercy doesn't have somebody to jump to, she is dead. If Lucio does not have a boop up, he is dead. Reinhardt in your back line is a big no-no. You don't want to let it happen. Mm-hmm. That being said, one of the best ways to kill him overall is to run Pharah. Pharah is literally Reinhardt's kryptonite or his bane, however you want to put it, because even if he's good and he has to hold the shield straight up, his whole entire belly is exposed to everybody in front of him. There's nothing he can do. Yeah,
Pharah is the bane of many a character. As someone who plays Junkrat frequently, like, she gets me too. I'm not hit scan. Like, I can't really hit her. I can kill Pharahs with my mines if they get in range, which is so satisfying when I do that. But Pharah is a very strong hero. I'm looking forward to the Pharah episode we do because she's so OP.
She is one of those characters that no matter what they do to her, she's always just going to have the superiority going along with her because she can be in the air.
Yep, we need more flying heroes is what we need. We need a good flying counter.
Give Reinhardt a booster pack that shoots him in the air. But one of the last big things with Reinhardt, guys, is your biggest move going into a team is not so much you meleeing or you fire striking or you getting a pick with your charge. Your biggest move is going to be your shield play. Earth-Shatter's huge. You can literally change the way an entire team fight's going because of Earth-Shatter. You have to know when to use it. I can't per se tell you when to Earth-Shatter. The biggest Earth-Shatters are going to be how you fill out their team. Of course, like I said, you got to make sure there's no shield in front of you. If there's a shield, it's wasted. So it's one of those, you got to fill it out. You got to have your own experience on Reinhardt and know when to use it. I can't tell you. That's just one of those that comes from playing Reinhardt. That's your biggest team fight mechanic, of course. It can literally swing the entire game to whether you win or lose if you use it right. But your biggest thing overall in Reinhardt is the shield. That is your niche. If you use it correctly and you know when to attack, you can literally carry the entire game by yourself as Reinhardt. And yes, as it was just said, there's not much you can do against Pharah's Reinhardt unless she lands in front of you, which I don't know why they would do, or unless you get a lucky fire strike. So
aim it very well.
So
she's a pain. Now I know you've touched on some of this already, but I just want to just try to zero in on it in case we forgot any details. But as far as strengths and weaknesses, like Reinhardt's personal, like within himself, strengths and weaknesses, and as well as strengths and weaknesses against other heroes. Like I know you've already mentioned heroes he's good with and not good with, or good against, not good against. But if there's any other details about that you remember that you didn't mention before, that would be wonderful to talk about right now.
Yeah, I mean, I know earlier I said one of his biggest strengths is just his presence in general. When you see a Reinhardt in the game, let's be honest, everybody that's listening to this and watching this, your first instincts are, oh crap, I have a Reinhardt. They're going to have a shield. I'm going to have to deal with that in this game, whether I want to or not. That's usually one of the first ways you react to it is they have Reinhardt.
Yep.
That is one of his biggest strengths. Even if you're not the best Reinhardt player, you've already pretty much psyched out the enemy team because they have to now deal with a Reinhardt. Nobody wants to deal with Reinhardt. One of his biggest weaknesses, though, goes hand in hand with that is a double-edged sword because now everybody in the entire game is going to be focusing you because you're playing Reinhardt. So that goes back into the whole thing of how well you can transition from using your hammer to using your shield, knowing when to back out, knowing when to go in, knowing when to get a pick and charge people. But one of the biggest individual weaknesses I have with Reinhardt, as somebody told me just put into text or chat down there, is when you actually have to play a shield shatter mind game against another Reinhardt in the actual game, because a lot of people that don't main Reinhardt or don't play him a lot don't realize this, but if you have two Reinhardts in the same game, you both have Earth-Shatter, you are literally going to bait each other for a good 30 seconds to a minute, back and forth of who's going to use Earth-Shatter first, who's going to hit hit my shield, or who's going to hit his shield, and who's not going to get the Earth-Shatter benefits at all.
Yeah,
it is literally one of the dumbest things in this game that can be so frustrating.
Yeah.
So this is literally going to come around to one of those times to how long can you be patient and wait for the other person to make a mistake before you capitalize on it, before you get greedy.
Yep.
Reinhardt is one of those heroes where your greed can reward you with big outcomes and big payoffs, but that same greed can get you killed and lose you the game. It is literally one of those heroes that every time you boot him up, you're going to take a gamble of, can I be greedy and win us the game, or can I be greedy and lose us the game? And
yeah, it's a very fine line to walk on for sure.
His overall weakness, though, to me, is one, he's slow, he's loud, he's a big target. These are things you got to work around. And one of the worst things, again, like I said earlier, his shield can only point in one direction. So you got to look at what you can do with your shield, knowing how to min-max your shield plays, knowing how to get around being so big and so loud, and being able to get away with having the entire enemy team always trying to focus you. And yeah, the entire Reinhardt toolkit, if you want to look at it from a attack sense point of view, your entire toolkit is nothing but greed. How greedy are you going to be with your charges? How greedy are you going to be with your melees? How greedy are you going to be with your Earth-Shatters? Because if you do not balance those perfectly with how defensive you can be, you will 100% lose every time. Reinhardt is one of the weirdest tanks I have had the chance to play in any game, because if you're too offensive, you're not doing your job. And if you're too defensive, you're still not doing your job.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Literally, you got to find the middle ground that it works for you. So
yeah, it's like I said earlier, yesterday I was playing Overwatch for hours and hours with Iceberg while he was trying to learn Reinhardt, and seeing him try to figure out that balance of being too offensive, being too defensive, or for example, when you hear Diva's ult going off, no matter what hero you're on, your gut reaction is, oh God, I need to run, I need to duck, I need to hide. So him as Reinhardt, not putting his shield up, his priority was trying to duck and hide with everyone else. And every time I'm like, no, put your shield up, help save people. So it's definitely an interesting hero to learn. And also just tanks in general, getting your mindset, I'm a tank, I'm a badass, I have a shield, or I have armor, or whatever it is that all these tank heroes have. Is you gotta remember that, yes, you're doing damage and whatnot, but you also want to be there for your team and take care of them. It's not every man for himself when you're a tank. You gotta think of everyone else too, which can also be tricky when you're used to playing other heroes, where you really do only worry about yourself. You gotta get that mindset. No, you're like the team dad. You gotta take care of everybody. Interesting hero to learn for sure.
He's got one of those. He's got a weird toolkit. I mean, he can be the strongest tank in game, and he can also be the weakest tank in game. A lot of it's going to come down to your own individual understanding with him. And does the Diva ultimate completely wreck Rein's shield? No. So if your Rein shield is actually at full charge and Diva ultimate hits it, it only takes off 1,000 health. Mm-hmm. It can survive it. The Reinhardt shield can pretty much survive almost any single ultimate in game besides the Sombra hack. That's the only thing that can literally bring down your shield. And I forgot to touch on that. I just thought about it. Sombra is not one of the most played heroes in quick play or competitive ranked. She's one of those characters that people only really play her when they're really, really good with her at this point, just because all the different reworks she's had and everything else. That being said, if there is a Sombra on the enemy team, she will be the worst nightmare you have ever had in comp or quick play if she is any good at all, just because she'll run up, she'll hack you, or she'll pop her ultimate and literally just destroy you. One of the two, either or, you're pretty much just like, what do I do from here? I can't do anything. I can't charge. I can't fire strike. I can't shield. I'm literally in the open with 300 health, nothing to do with 4 people staring at me.
Yep. Sombra
Yeah.
is very underrated. She's such a powerful character, though. Like, you're playing a character like Doomfist, where your entire toolkit depends on your secondary abilities. You get hacked by Sombra, you can do literally nothing.
Pretty much.
Same with Reinhardt. You're just standing there up a creek without a paddle. You can't do anything. So, yeah, be wary of the Sombras.
The only two ultimates in the entire game that a Reinhardt shield cannot save you from is a Hanzo Nope Snake.
Nope, snake.
Or from May's Blizzard. Literally the only two ultimates that a Reinhardt shield itself cannot save you from doing anything to you. You can block Graviton Surge as far as in terms of if it hits you and it grips you all up, you can block all the damage coming from directions. You can block other Earth-Shatters. Of course, you can soak up all of Pharah's ultimate. Pharah's ultimate, if she's non-boosted, will literally go all the way and only have 2 rockets come through when your shield finally breaks if your shield's at full health. That's a neat thing to know. Make sure you write that down.
Yeah, that's very powerful. Dice Bard, write this down. Have the shield up for those ultimates. Don't try running away with everyone else.
You can last all of 76's ultimate. You can actually, if you do it just right and flick your shield at the last second, you can actually soak a Junkrat ultimate and live.
Yep. As a Junkrat, I hate Reinhardt shields because if I trigger my ultimate too soon or he turns at the last second, I wasted my ult because it doesn't kill anybody. It's frustrating. Yeah. And then Alphagear is asking, you can block another Earth Shatter? I believe the answer to that is yes. Big ol' yep. That's what I think.
You just got tricked.
Yes. So that Reinhardt dance, you got Reinhardt versus Reinhardt, like who's gonna Earth Shatter, who's gonna do this, who's gonna have the shield up. So that's why it's funny having multiple Reinhardts. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
You want the craziest thing I've ever seen any Reinhardt do, and this was season 5 or season 6. This is when I first learned about jumping from the second level down. We were playing on Nubani, the very first objective, trying to defend it, and their Reinhardt literally got all the way around behind us, came down, jumped. You heard the Earth Shatter, so our entire team went left. And then literally he flips left and hits all 6 people with one Earth Shatter. And it's just like, okay. You watch the play of the game, he's looking this way, then all of a sudden he whips to the left. And I'm like, I didn't know this was a thing. Oh my God.
Learning things.
Like, for somebody who'd already put in like 150 hours on Reinhardt, this was like, my mind is blown at literally the toolkit that's still – you think is so basic, but there's so much stuff that you literally only learn from playing with people.
Yeah. Because you need to be in a specific situation to learn something sometimes. So, and that's the best way to learn a character is just play it a lot and get in those different situations, try the different competitions with and against, and learn all the ins and outs. It's the best way to learn any hero is just to play it and play it a lot. Are there any other like Reinhardt specific tips and tricks you can impart onto someone that maybe is newer at Reinhardt, learning it? They're not as skilled as you are. Any other big tips or info? I know you've given so much info already, but is there anything else that you can think of?
I mean, one of the biggest things as far as new Reinhardt players, because they're always going to see charge and think they immediately have to charge somebody. You don't. You don't even have to use charge at all, like the entire game. Like you really don't. Like charge is a nice way to pick people. If somebody's pushed out way in front, away from their team, sure, use it. Or if you're in the middle of a team fight, you can use it. But charge is one of those abilities that, unless you're really aware of what's going on in that specific game, you don't have to go through with it. Don't use it if you don't feel comfortable. It can get you killed easily. It's just one of those things in the toolkit you can use that's very nice. It can help you you can even use it to escape. You don't necessarily have to charge the enemy. You can use it as a means to escape. So it's one of those, it can be used offensively, defensively. You can literally whip around the corner and just fire your fire strike just to get people to stop chasing you. Because if somebody's at 90 health, fire strike's coming right at them. Most people want to dodge that because they don't want to die. And again, one of the biggest things is if your shield breaks, don't panic. Literally just hide for about 8 seconds. Your shield will come back up with about 800 health. And just, don't panic from there. Give it 8 seconds. Your shield will come up. Just live. and then after about 10 seconds, after it comes back up, you'll be right at almost full health again with your shield. So
That is very helpful info.
that's what I do with my voice lines.
Yeah, so I forgot to. I purposely, I didn't forget, but I purposely didn't tell you this before the episode. So something I like to do to my guests, I like to throw them under the bus live on stream. I would like you to give us your best interpretation of your favorite Reinhardt voice line.
Of my favorite Reinhardt voice
Putting
line.
you on the spot. Favorite Reinhardt voice line.
Crusader Online.
There we go. I don't like giving too much heads up about that because I'm a jerk and it's amusing.
Catchphrase.
There we go. Yeah. So for those that aren't aware, Logota, he's a very big guy. Like he is a real life Reinhardt. All he needs is the shield, and you should really. I think you've been thinking about this before. You should cosplay Reinhardt. You'd be such a good one.
I have been doing it.
Yeah.
With the move this year, I didn't get to finish it all, but
yeah.
It's
Maybe
about
next year.
85% complete done for me to actually
Nice.
cosplay Reinhardt in the actual armor, and then cosplay Reinhardt without the armor.
Yeah, you're the perfect Reinhardt. All right, so
I'm the Reinhardt.
if there are any other questions that you have for Logota, now is the time to ask. That being said, make sure you follow him on Twitter and whatnot. Let me put up his info again, because I'm sure, as you can tell, he loves talking about this. He will talk all day if you let him. So if you have any Reinhardt questions, I'm sure he won't mind being bothered just a little bit. And yeah, let's see here. Now, while I'm just quickly scroll through chat, I have been paying attention. I do have someone in mind. I just want to make sure. Yeah, no, I still want to stick with this person. Okay, so for the loot boxes that I mentioned earlier in the show that I'll be giving away for being active in chat, there's one person that I think you've been here for every show now that I've done for On The Point. But today specifically, you have been very active and talking and giving lots of input. So obviously you play Reinhardt. So Shadumura, I'm going to give you some loot boxes. Yeah, Shad. So just toss me a Twitter DM, and I will get those to you after show. And congratulations on loot boxes.
But yeah.
Let's see here. I'm thinking if I'm not missing any questions. Just quickly scrolling through chat. Now, what other heroes do you play, Logota?
Competitively or just in general?
Let's go competitively. Which ones do you feel well enough to play competitively?
Competitively, my other two main tanks besides Reinhardt or Roadhog and Orisa are the other two main two I play right now. Winston is one of those flex tanks I'll play if I have a dive comp team. How would that impact your mindset? I guess. Oh, okay. So there actually is a question real quick. I can answer real fast.
Oh, yes. Let's answer that question.
So just so everybody knows, with we get the shield bash not going through the shields on the PTR, how will that impact your mindset against Brig/Goats comps? Honestly, it's not going to change it too much. The only main difference is you're not going to have to worry about being stunned, but I regret that anymore. There's not much she can do about it. And the other good thing is the damage from the all-set shield bash itself, going from 50 to 5. It's not like she can just go out and dive into your back line and literally hit them anymore. She's going to have to work at it. The shield bash doesn't last as long. It doesn't deal the same amount of damage. It can no longer go through shields. So if you're looking at that from the mindset, if you're running like an Orisa, Zarya, or Reinhardt, specifically, this is about Reinhardt. The main thing you only have to worry about is that you don't have to worry about being chain CC'd by that. So that's the greatest thing about it. And the other good thing is with her shield bash going about it that way, you don't actually, this is also something that could happen, but it was very rare. You don't have to worry about getting shield bashed through your charge or through your Earth-Shatter. There's not much she can do about you. Yeah. So Goats, like right now, is one of the biggest things. You run 3 tanks, 3 supports. Primarily, it's going to be like a Mercy Ana Lucio or a Mercy Ana Moira. And the other thing is you're also going to be running like a Reinhardt, Orisa, Roadhog, or like Reinhardt, Diva, Winston. Something that can do a lot of damage output, but something that also has a lot of dive and defensive potential at the same time. It's a really weird comp in like high elo right now.
It's fun.
I've played against it a few times. It's not like my most favorite comp to play against or with, simply to me because it feels like it makes the game last a lot longer. You can run a DPS, but the problem that if you run the DPS, you're literally taking away from the heal potential and away from tanking potential. It does give more sustain, and the Zen does work a lot better for if you're dealing with Rhines or if you're dealing with Roadhogs. So that's one of the big things about Reinhardt. If they have a Zenyatta on the other team and you get discorded, try to get out of line of sight, try to get the discord onto somebody else other than yourself. It does shield your shield regen. That's a neat thing to know. Your shield regen can actually be affected by the discord. So if you don't want to deal with it, try not to get discorded.
Yeah, that's a good tip. Try not to get discorded on really any hero. Just don't get discorded.
Just don't get discorded. You don't want to deal with the discord.
You don't want it. And like a couple people typed in chat already, Tanner, a good way to remember that acronym is greatest of all time, or my favorite is go all tanks and support. It's not perfect to the GOATS acronym, but it's the easiest way for me to remember it is go all tanks and support. So yeah, it's fun. If you have not played this comp yet, do it. It's enjoyable. It's really fun, and you can make people in quick play really mad if they know what GOATS is and your team is doing GOATS. They'll be like, why are you doing this? This is not competitive. Why? Because we want to win. Yeah, get it? Yeah. Gold tanks and support. Easy way.
Win. We don't care.
Yeah, I'm winning. I don't care. Yeah, so on that note, Logota, thank you so much for imparting much of your Reinhardt wisdom on us today. I hope people in chat have learned a thing or 5 or 6 about Reinhardt. I definitely have learned a couple of things. I'll probably play Reinhardt later today. I've always shied away from him because playing against him, he's a frustrating tank. And like you mentioned, like, he is easy to learn, but learning that happy middle ground between attacking and defending, it's tricky. I like playing Junkrat. I just like throwing projectiles and mines at people, and I don't really need to worry about much else. So I should really catch it.
I mean, it takes time to learn the middle ground. There's no way around it. Like, it's just one of those. Until you put in the playtime with him, it's just one of those. He's always going to be frustrating. There's not anything anybody can do about that. However, you're talking about playing Overwatch. I'm about to get on right now. For anybody that's in stream that wants to play.
Oh, heck. I'll definitely play with you. I'll play. In fact, what I might do is pop open my stream on my channel while playing some Overwatch, maybe with Logota, maybe not. But let's play some Overwatch today, guys, for a little while here. Yeah, I like the sound of that. So. Sure, yeah. So
sounds like I'll play.
So like after I shut down the stream, I'll need like 10 minutes just to grab a drink or and then like load up my stream. But yeah, I'm down. So on that note, let's see if I can. I think I fixed it. So the intro was backwards before, but let me see if I can fix it real quick here. Too many screens. Oh, I just minimized everything on my screen. That's helpful. There we go. All right. So Logota, as always, thank you, and we'll see you right after here for some Overwatch. Viewers, thank you so much for hanging out. And for those that aren't aware of what my channel is, my name is Malkarii. It's in the title of the stream. My Twitch name is Malkarii, Malkarii. And you can find me that way. In fact, let me just type it on screen because BeLive, it's wonderful. I just want to mention what BeLive is. So it's not software, but it's like a web-based platform that you can stream talk shows and such from. And they're adding a lot of cool features like screen sharing. You can like play games and stream from BeLive. It's a wonderful stream platform. It is so simple to set up. So if you are someone that has never streamed before because you think all the other, like the mainstream, I won't say their names, but the mainstream softwares are too difficult or confusing for you to set up, BeLive requires a matter of clicks. And it's good to go. You can go live. And when you're live, it's so simple to switch between different views on the screen. Different, like, for example, just play with Logota and I real quick. I can make him small and me big. I can go back to the even. I can make him big and me small. I can do this view. And this is only some of them. There's like 7 or 8 different views you can do depending on what you have on the screen to play with. So definitely check out BeLive.tv if you're already a Twitch streamer, or maybe you're not a Twitch streamer but you have an interest in doing maybe a talk show type thing. BeLive is definitely something you want to look at. It is pretty nifty. And I just love how simple it is. And They're doing a lot of changes with it. They're taking feedback. They're taking into consideration. So now is a good time to get in on BeLive while it's in the beta on Twitch, because you can have a play in shaping what it will be when it's a fully finished product. So check out BeLive.tv and hop in the Discord. There's a lot of cool content creators, streamers, and whatnot in the Discord, and it's just a friendly, nice place to be. So I'm not sure if you're still around as Azoria. If you want to link the BeLive Discord, I would appreciate that. On that note, I'm going to end the show here at that. So make sure, guys, you are friendly. Say hi to people in game when you join groups, be it quick play, competitive, whatever. Just say hi. These are people you're playing with. Set that tone right from the get-go that you're a friendly person. Say good game. Tell everyone good luck, have fun, and please don't say GG easy. That's rude. Don't be rude. And yeah, and above all else, have fun. It is a game. Be it competitive or quick play, whether you're winning or losing. Your goal is to have fun. If you're not having fun, you should probably log off and maybe grab a book. But just take a deep breath if you're getting tilted, and remember, this is a game, and just focus on positive vibes. And my personal experience when I'm getting tilted, or when some of my teammates getting tilted, if I say a joke or you try to be humorous or try to lighten the mood, it actually works most times, and we work better together as a team going forward. So maybe bring out some puns. I love the puns. Most people don't, unless they're really bad, and then there's like groan haha type thing. So just be light, be positive. Yeah, GGWP, good game well played. That's a good one to say. Yeah, there we go. Like Dicebart just said, it's easy to be nice. All right, on that note, I am just rambling at this point. So let me see if I can get a non-backwards closing video happening here. Let's see if I can do it. So it is... yes, this is the one I want.
Pump up the volume. Oh, this'll be good. I'll be watching over you.